This morning on the Morning Blend, we have Paul Jordan, who is with the general manager for LaFontaine Buick GMC. Paul, good to see you again.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
So I understand there's some good news right now, and that is that you are able to service vehicles. How are you doing that being safe?
Sure. What a great question. Bob, our service departments are open. That's number one. A lot of our frontline workers and our essential workers need reliable transportation. They need to make sure their car is safe and virus-free for that matter. And that's what we're doing here. We're open for walk-ins. We're open for appointments. We're open for any kind of any essential worker that needs us to pick up their vehicle, get their car serviced for them, and return it to them at their home or place of work. We're here for all of that. If you reach out and call us, our number one priority, though, truly is that we're safe and we're sanitized. We're using a product, PermaSafe, which is OSHA certified. It's EPA certified. It kills 99.9% of germ viruses. We're making sure that every single car that we come in contact with is sanitized safely so that our customers and our staff, for that matter, is completely safe. So we're excited, Bob, to be open and excited that the community can come in and actually get safe vehicle service done right now.
Talking about your community, LaFontaine is so community oriented, and you have something called the Care for Our Community program. And can you just remind our viewers what that is?
I will, Bob. It's actually very close to my heart because if you really truly think about this, nobody's been through this before. I've not. Nobody on this television has ever been through something to this magnitude. And one of the best ways that we can get our community back on track is to shop in our local communities, right? So any restaurants that you go to, getting food for your homes, make sure you do it locally and save your receipts. We match dollar for dollar up to $1,000 for a new car and $500 for a used car if you bring those receipts into us, give them to us, or actually you'll take photos and send them to us so that we can honor those for you on the purchase of a new car.
And we know you're open. We know that you're selling cars, just doing it a little bit differently than normal right now. You're doing it virtually. We're going to put your information up on the screen so people can get in touch with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bob.
Check this out. Ford is introducing an all-electric Mustang. It has more than 1,400 horsepower and is battery driven. Ford introduced this Mustang Cobra Jet 1400 drag racer yesterday, and they say it can race a quarter-mile in about 8 seconds. This prototype pays homage to Ford's original Cobra Jet that hit drag strips in the late 60s. Pretty sweet looking car there. Well, night one of the NFL virtual draft is in the books. Commissioner Roger Goodell made the announcement from his basement. The Cincinnati Bengals had the #1 pick, and they took Heisman Trophy quarterback Joe Burrow from LSU. The Lions, Detroit, had the 3rd overall pick. We selected OSU defensive player Jeff Okudah. Stay with Fox 47 for rounds 2 and 3 of the NFL draft. And the National Spelling Bee is canceled, but a new replacement spelling bee has people buzzing. Get it? 2 former spellers created the Spell Pundit online National Spelling Bee. They have a $25,000 prize, and it's the same week the official spelling bee would have happened in May. More than 200 spellers have already registered. Those do include returning spellers from last year's competition. And United Airlines is now requiring their flight attendants wear face masks. The airline is the first major U.S. carrier with that requirement, and United says they will provide masks, but attendants can also choose to wear their own. All right, travel, we know, not an option for lots of folks right now, but that doesn't mean the exploring has to stop. Liz McLaughlin shows us how.
He is one of the rescues out here.
Meet Paco, who might look a little out of place on our Zoom call.
It's sure a bright part of our day for sure.
It's part of a program called Goat to Meeting,
So at this point, we have about 2,500 bookings.
For $100, you can have a cute animal from Sweet Farm in California liven up your next video conference call.
We've had up to about 600 people on a single call.
Make school from home more exciting with a field trip.
And you can come a little bit closer and check out those nails.
Take a home safari at the Cincinnati Zoo. Dive into the sea otter cam at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. Or you can tour museums across the globe.
Oftentimes they'll have special Facebook Live demos where you can actually submit questions and interact with people.
Parents can see a daily list of educational live events on wideopenschool.org. From drawing classes to daily Explorer chats from National Geographic.
There's these national read-alongs that are happening, sing-alongs, dance parties, but then also exploratory activities.
Italy!
Or take a trip with an online Airbnb experience. Visit a theme park without the lines in VR through the virtual Disney World YouTube channel.
While families are stuck at home, there's a great opportunity for them to really dive into new experiences, new activities, things that they might not have had the time to do before.
With a little imagination, you can bring any destination home.
Hi, Paco. I love you.
All right, check this out. A little feel-good Friday story for you here. Law enforcement coming to the rescue to help make a Virginia boy's 5th birthday extra special. You can see him there. They showed up with a parade of patrol cars flashing their lights and sirens. Now, that little boy, his name is Adam. Clearly a birthday memory he won't soon forget. 5 years old, big birthday there. Of course, a happy birthday to Adam. And as we turn things over to Claire, our Feel Good Friday kind of continues here in that it's going to be a little bit better weather for our Friday than it has been here.
It is going to be better today, mainly just because it will be warmer, highs reaching into the mid-50s this afternoon. Now, this morning, we're still under the clouds out there. Satellite and radar showing you still a little bit gray and gloomy, even some spotty drizzle, at least at times. Temperatures right now mainly in about the upper 30s to around the low 40s. So it's currently 38 degrees in Lansing, the same in Mason, 39 the current temperature in Charlotte. It is 40 degrees this morning, both in Jackson and Marshall. Take a live look on the south side of Lansing. Still some patchy fog out there. That's going to take most of the morning before it finally clears out. So your Friday planner, do expect to see highs that reach at least into about the mid-50s. Some drizzle possible through the morning hours, and it will be mostly cloudy, at least for most of the day. I do think we'll manage to break out into some sunshine. We'll see a few peaks in between the clouds late this afternoon into early this evening. And this weekend, we do see some rain on Saturday, but we should be dry on Sunday. And temperatures, thankfully, staying above at least 50 degrees pretty much all the way through the next 7 days. I have a more detailed look at the 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Holding out for that sunshine today. Thank you, Claire. Well, coming up after the break here, how to send something sweet to those on the front lines and the Michigan company that's making it possible. Stay with us.
You're watching Fox 47 Morning News at 7.
The virus is revealing inequalities in healthcare systems and some communities being hit harder than others. Chris Conti explains.
So it's really diverse.
In cities across the country, there are neighborhoods and zip codes where the virus is hitting hardest. Communities which were struggling long before the emergence of COVID-19.
Well, I think it's created a lot of concern and uncertainty.
Mary Cole lives in one of those places. She's currently sheltering in place inside her home in East Boston, a section of Boston where healthcare and cheap housing are notoriously hard to come by.
We're a working class neighborhood, and a lot of the people in East Boston don't have the luxury of doing what I'm doing, which is to shelter in place.
This working class neighborhood is a myriad of minorities and immigrants. They have been hit harder by coronavirus than most other areas of the city. Why? Many people didn't have good health care here to begin with.
If you don't have a healthcare home, then you don't feel comfortable just walking in and getting the treatment that you need.
That is Manny Lopes. He oversees the East Boston Neighborhood Health Center, a local nonprofit. Many of their patients who might have COVID-19 are too scared to come in for fear their immigration status will be checked. or they'll end up with a hospital bill they can't afford.
A virus like this, and then added with unemployment, unstable housing, just really magnifies it 1,000 times.
And a lack of affordable housing in major cities across the country is only adding to how fast the virus is spreading. When a family of 6 or 10 is crammed into a 600 square foot apartment, there's no place to self-quarantine if someone gets sick. To keep up with the problem, places like East Boston Health are outreaching to patients in multiple languages about COVID. And even if someone tests positive, the hope is that now they'll be more likely to get preventative care in the future.
I worry about people who have to go to work every day.
As the country rebounds from the virus, there's no shortage of issues coming to light. In Boston, I'm Chris Conti reporting.
Right now, there's a test on its way to mid-Michigan, and it can detect if a person who's already had coronavirus is likely to get it again. It is an antibody test, and Sparrow Hospital tells us it should be here in about 2 weeks. It looks for specific antibodies in a blood sample, and if those are present, it could mean that person is building an immunity to the coronavirus. Sparrow Hospital does say results may not give a clear answer, at least not at first.
Other coronaviruses may cross-react with some of the testing material that we have and might give you an antibody level that might be to a different virus and not necessarily COVID-19.
Dr. Richard says if there are antibodies, you could have had a type of coronavirus in the past. Right now, Michigan Urgent Care and Occupational Health in Brighton is offering that antibody test. And get this, Michigan's own Hudsonville Ice Cream wants to give back to healthcare workers. You can nominate those workers for random acts of ice cream. Nominators share why the hero should get a little ice cream pick-me-up, and Hudsonville Ice Cream will get shipping information and send a healthcare package and a care package, I should say, to that hero. We have more information on how you can nominate a healthcare worker. That is on fox47news.com. And right now, 50,000 computers are on the way to Detroit students who don't have access to technology. It is a massive coalition between Detroit business leaders and Detroit's mayor. DTE's president making that announcement in Detroit.
These devices will allow students to access their homework and school studies from home. They will digitally connect students with their teachers and allow them to continue learning during the important summer months when many students lose ground.
Michigan schools closed their doors in March. Right now, 9 out of 10 students in Detroit don't have access to tablets, computers, or the internet. Well, get this, rapper Eminem is helping healthcare workers in his hometown of Detroit. He's donated his famous Mom Spaghetti to frontline workers. Now, the food's name is a nod to the lyric in his hit song, Lose Yourself. Henry Ford Health System posted this photo of that spaghetti. One of the tubs, you may have seen it there, had a sticker reading, quote, "Thank you, frontline caregivers." Eminem launched a pop-up food stand called Mom Spaghetti in 2018 at the Coachella Music Festival. And Wahlburgers are delivering thousands of meals to first responders, hospital workers, and frontline workers. Now, Wahlburgers is founded by Chef Paul Wahlberg and his famous brothers, Mark and Donnie. Those donations are going to 32 Boston area fire stations.
You know, I couldn't be happier, starting out in Dorchester and growing up here and really being able to support the local police department is a huge thing for us. Because obviously, every once in a while, we might have been a guest here with some of them. And so we just want to be able to be out here and support them because of all the hard work that they're doing now.
Well, the Wahlbergs say they plan to take this program on the road. They've got stops planned in New York, LA, Palo Alto, and even Milwaukee. Well, an activewear company is giving away free face masks. The project is called Masks for Every American. To get one, just head to Devani.com/free masks and just request one. They say they'll give out different types of masks depending on who and what it's for. They say healthcare workers will get medical grade masks and everyone else will get reusable ones. Pretty cool, something to keep in mind there. All right, we're turning things over to Claire for a check on our Friday forecast and even our weekend weather. And Claire, at least today, a little break from the rain for us.
Yeah, today it's not too bad. We are seeing a little bit of some drizzle out there this morning, but we'll be dry by the afternoon. And The weekend, thankfully, not a complete washout, but we'll start with today on our Friday. A live look right now on the south side of Lansing. Definitely still a little bit cloudy and a little bit gloomy, and again, some drizzle is possible out there this morning. For the most part, though, we should start to dry out as we go a little later on. So temperatures right now, currently in the upper 30s. It's 38 degrees in Lansing, the same in Mason. 39 degrees outside in Charlotte. It's 40 already, both in Jackson and in Marshall. Now, yesterday, highs really only managed to reach the low 40s, at least in Lansing. 42 was the high yesterday, 48 the high yesterday in Jackson. Today, we should all be warmer, reaching at least into about the mid-50s across the area. I think if you're a little farther south along the state line, you might be able to reach into the upper 50s. Thankfully, though, it is warmer for everybody. So here's a look at the satellite and radar out there. Again, still a little bit gloomy this morning, seeing a few spots of some green just to the south of Lansing, indicating the chance that we will see at least some drizzle off and on through the morning hours. But we are in between systems, that kind of stationary front that brought us all the rain the last couple of days, a little farther to our south, so we should manage to stay dry for most of the day today. That does change on Saturday. That area of low pressure to our south moves north, bringing with it another surge of rain for most of the day on Saturday. So here's a look at your future tracks. We go hour by hour, and for today it doesn't look too bad. We'll see a little bit of some drizzle this morning, drying out and even seeing some clearing taking place later this afternoon. A little bit of some sunshine possible as we head into the afternoon hours. Now by Saturday, we will see the rain lifting in from the south and moving off to the north. If you're right along the state line, expect rain early Saturday morning, kind of moving into the Lansing area, probably close to around noontime or so. The rain likely lifting as far north as about I-69, and that's kind of where it'll stop. So if you're anywhere I-69 to the south, likely going to be seeing rain for a good portion of the day on Saturday before the system finally moves east, and we should be dry by the time we wake up on Sunday morning. Today, at least it'll be a little bit warmer. Mostly cloudy, a high of 54, some sun more towards the later half of the day. Mostly cloudy tonight with a low of about 38 degrees. In your 7-day forecast, we will see rain on Saturday, a high of 52 degrees, drying out and seeing decreasing clouds Sunday with a high of 55. Early next week, it really looks quite beautiful. 59 and mostly sunny on Monday, 60. Chance for some isolated showers Tuesday. Better chance for rain will come on Wednesday. Those showers could linger into Thursday of next week with highs in the mid-50s.
All right, thank you, Claire. Well, coming up after the break here, how a simple gesture is making headlines this morning. Stay with us.
You're watching Fox 47 Morning News at 7.
Dear Mr. and Mrs. Hank, my name is Corona. I heard on the news you and your wife have caught the coronavirus. Are you okay?
All right, Tom Hanks helping to lift the spirits of that 8-year-old boy. His name is Corona DeVries, and he says he's been getting bullied because of his name during this pandemic. Well, he wrote a letter to the Oscar-winning actor after he learned Hanks had spent his quarantine in Australia after testing positive for the virus. Corona was thrilled to actually hear back from Hanks. Get this, the actor sent him that right there, a Corona brand typewriter. Hanks wrote, quote, "Your letter made my wife and I feel so wonderful." He ended the letter saying, "You've got a friend in me." Corona does say he plans to write Hanks back very soon. Pretty cool. Like we said, a little feel-good Friday morning story for us here. And Claire, weather-wise, kind of a feel-good Friday too. Less rain than what we've been seeing.
Yes, we finally get a dry day out there today. It will be a little bit cloudy, not much in the way of sunshine. We will see a few peaks here or there. Highs, though, will be warmer, reaching at least into about the mid-50s, and we get a break from the rain at least for one day. Your 7-day forecast showing Saturday, likely going to see scattered showers pretty much all day long, highs in the low 50s. Sunday, though, we do dry out. We'll see decreasing clouds, turning partly cloudy by the end of the day with a high of about 55. Now, Monday looks really beautiful next week. We're talking highs near 60 degrees, lots of sunshine. It should be great. Enjoy it because Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week all feature at least a chance for some rain. A high near 60 on Tuesday, dipping back down into the mid-50s Wednesday and Thursday of next week. But at least, there's only a couple of chances for rain, and we get a few dry days and some sunshine next Monday.
All right, thank you, Claire. And thank you for waking up with us here on your Fox 47 Morning News. We hope to see you right back here again Monday morning. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, stay well.
You're watching Fox 47 Morning News at 7.
This morning on the Morning Blend, we have Wade Stitt with us, who is the Director of Crisis Services for LifeWays Community Mental Health. Wade, thanks so much for joining us. I want to start by, social isolation is taking place, and I'm wondering how that impacts people's lives, especially their mental health.
Absolutely. Social impact, we know can have a significant impact on someone's mental health or life in general, right? Making sure that we are paying attention to any signs of depression or anxiety that may come from this, which some of that is a bit normal right now. But certainly that making sure that in this social isolation time that we are paying attention to our mental health and our health in general is going to be important.
And when should people reach out for help, though?
Yeah, absolutely. And as I mentioned just a second ago, that it can be kind of common to have some elevated anxiety right now. But I think that when you look at when is the right time to get help is when those symptoms of depression or anxiety or other things get to the point where it's impacting your daily function, your ability to function, right? Taking care of your family, or if you're working from home, or hygiene, or even having suicidal or even sometimes homicidal thoughts are a clear indicator. It's time to reach out to a professional.
I'm curious if you could give some tips for people who are under social isolation and feeling maybe lonely.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just even looking at it from the perspective of folks that maybe are not experiencing a mental health disorder can be difficult, right? But making sure that we identify coping skills and ways to deal with being alone, finding activities, doing things like making sure that we're at the same time, and some of that routine stuff is going to be important. And making sure that you're reaching out to family and friends with some of the awesome social media stuff and platforms that we have today.
What about real quick tips for parents?
Absolutely. How difficult for them right now, right? With school being out, and I would encourage parents to look at having some leeway with their children, but to also make sure that they're adding structure to their day, right? That's what's happening at school. Create that structure at home as well. That will help for sure.
All good tips. We're going to, of course, put your information on the bottom of the screen. We appreciate you taking time out to talk to us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.